again, everybody. Welcome back to Anthony's Takes, and right now we're gonna get into this Transformers: The Last Night movie review. So, just got home from seeing it. Took Santino, and just to let you know, it's not gonna be spoiler talk until I'll let you know when I'm gonna talk about spoilers. So, but right now, I'm just gonna give a review. And going in, I have to say, going into the movie, I was expecting to be disappointed because of what I've seen everywhere, including Rotten Tomatoes, giving it, last I checked, it was at like 16% out of 100, and so I went in not expecting much, you know, when it came to the story, but as a fan of the movies, and as a fan of the original cartoon, Generation 1, I have mixed feelings. I'm not sure what to give this movie as a rating, because there's so many good qualities of it, and there are some terrible ones, which is something I fully expect from Michael Bay, because he has, since the beginning, just like completely torn apart the origins of the Transformers and changed it to whatever the fuck he wants, because he has full control of it. And some of the shit in this movie, he just continued on by just shitting on the fans. I don't want to say, you know, okay, I take that back. Probably not shitting on us, but taking certain aspects of the story and changing it, you know. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to talk about it until later on in the video, but he has a history of changing certain things, names, and you know, plot points of certain movies, you know. So with that being said, when I walked into the theater, I thought that I was going to give my first bad movie review, this being the first movie that it would get a bad review out of me. But as I'm sitting in that theater, I was still, you know, astonished by, you know, especially the special effects. I love the special effects. It was great. Appearances from some classic characters in the Transformers movies that we haven't seen in a while. Lennox was there. He's in the trailer. I won't spoil it for you guys, but there was someone that is in the movie that was not even shown anywhere in the trailers, and I stay away from IMDb to see the cast because I don't want it to spoil who's in the movie, of any movie that I'm about to go watch. And so there was another classic character that showed up again, and then a tip of the hat or a nod to another character from the past movies that are no longer, you know, interested in doing Transformer movies anymore. So, but those cameos, you know, were some of the highlights of the movie. And then, but I mean, I can appreciate the storyline that Michael Bay brought when it comes to, you know, tying it in with King Arthur and Camelot, and, you know, at first I thought it was going to be corny, but it actually turned out okay. You know, parts of the plot of why the Decepticons and Autobots are fighting over again is pretty intriguing to me. And, you know, I wouldn't say this one was the best out of, I wouldn't say this one, you know, has resurrected the Transformer movies or not, you know, but it was definitely better than Age of Extinction. Age of Extinction, it didn't have any Decepticons in it. It had a poor excuse for Galvatron in it, and it, you know, to see Megatron back and doing his thing, and, you know, being who Megatron should be, that that in itself was, good to see again. You know, unfortunately, Starscream was killed off in Dark of the Moon, but they, Megatron, he does make a type of, in honor of Starscream, he does something in the movie to make us remember Starscream, So, I'm still thinking in my head what I should give this movie. But the one thing that really pissed me off is what is wanting me to give it a really bad score. Because, and I'm just saying that because, I'm a real big fan. I first got into Transformers when I saw the animated movie from 1985. And, there's a character in there that, you would think by watching the trailer is supposed to be Unicron. But Michael Bay, you motherfucker. I swear. He's got some balls to change what he changed about Unicron. So, with that being said, I'm just gonna have to give this movie 2 out of 5. Oh, hell yes. And I'm not even gonna do my Stone Cold voice because I will only do that if it's above a 3. I'm not gonna do my Stone Cold impersonation for this movie. But, so there's my score, 2 out of 5. And, I think it's time to talk spoilers. So, if you haven't seen the movie, go ahead and shut this off right now. I'm going to talk spoilers. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. You ready? Okay. So, as I'm sitting in the theater, I'm like, as you've probably seen me say before when I'm watching a trailer, that thing that you see eating the moon. You think to yourself, like, okay, as a fan of the old cartoons, that better be Unicron. Michael Bay. Please, let that be Unicron that's eating that planet. Don't trick us again. Because in Age of Extinction, you've seen something sucking up stuff from the ground, and you think, oh shit, is that Unicron? But it ended up just being the bottom of a spaceship. Just the way that they cut the trailer. So, that wasn't Unicron. But, with this thing, this planet that's eating the moon, you was like, okay, that's gotta be Unicron. But no, Michael Bay. You turned Earth. Earth has always been Unicron. What the fuck? Ugh. I don't know. Shit, dude. Who the fuck are you speaking to of, like, I know you've got the lore and you've got the comic books, the cartoons, you've got everything at your disposal of making these movies, and you still just like, okay, we're gonna take this and take this, fuck it all up. We're gonna call this that, we're gonna call this person that. Oh my god, change this, change that. I don't know. I don't fucking know. How are you gonna take Unicron and make it to where the Earth is Unicron? So this Earth that we've been living on is a transformer. Okay, I got you. I see where you're going. And the way the movie ends, definitely. I know I'm jumping around from place to place. That's just the way I do my movie reviews. Whatever comes to my mind, I'll say it. So going to the end, it's definitely setting up another Transformers movie. And Quintessa, she's still alive and is still looking to kill Unicron, aka Earth. So I do like how they use Nemesis Prime as the Nemesis Prime, used to find the staff that everyone's going after. So the TRF, I believe that's what their acronym was. The Transformer Hunters and shit like that. Finally come around and join forces with the Transformers again, because that's one thing I did not like about Age of Extinction, was how the humans are hunting down Transformers, whether they're Decepticon or Autobot, and just killing them. That was just completely retarded. That's what I didn't like about Age of Extinction, and that pretty much put, like, it was just Autobots versus the human race, and there were no Decepticons anywhere in that movie, except for you could say Lockdown was a Decepticon, but he wasn't really, and it surprised me, like, he was nowhere in this movie at all, and I believe he still lived, right? I know. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I know Lockdown did not die in Age of Extinction. He just, Jesus, I cannot remember. Anyway, so he was not in this movie. I cannot remember whether or not he lived or died. Did he die? Yeah, he did die. Optimus killed him. Yeah, okay. Never mind any of that, but yeah, Lockdown did die in the last one. So, Optimus, he goes and looks for his creators, finds Quintessa. Quintessa is his creator, and basically she uses him, turns him into Nemesis Prime, to find this staff that has been passed down from, the Dark Ages as a weapon. Well, she finds it as a weapon to bring Cybertron back to life. That's when all hell breaks loose, and somehow Kate Yeager comes cross paths with the descendant of King Arthur. Not King Arthur. What the fuck am I saying? She's a descendant of one of the knights, and is the only one that can activate it by touching it, and bringing an end to the newly revived Cybertron. They're trying to bring Cybertron back to life and kill the Earth, aka Unicron. So there's a conundrum right there. Like, how the hell is a villain, which is Unicron, the Earth? It's like, did Unicron come and fucking... I don't know. They're gonna have to think of something for the next movie to explain, because they did not explain it, how Unicron is the Earth. Or did the Earth exist and Unicron came and hid underneath it and fucking hid in the core and just expanded, or what? Like, what the hell? It just did not make sense. And so definitely walked away from this movie with a lot of fucking questions about what the hell. So this whole... And then one thing that really jumped out at me that was very contradicting of the first one. Okay, in the first one, when the Autobots come to Earth, that's supposed to be the first time they've ever come to Earth, which is why they learned Earth's languages through the World Wide Web. And but, however, Anthony Hopkins' character explains that the Autobots were always part of every war. The war in the Dark Ages, and then you see Bumblebee taking out Nazis in World War II and helped the U.S. win the war. And I'm like, okay, if Bumblebee was on Earth during World War II, then doesn't that contradict what happened in Part 1, where they basically come to Earth? And that's the first time that they're supposed to be on Earth, is when they meet Shia LaBeouf's character, Sam Witwicky. So, that's one thing that, you know, really like confused me. Like, how the hell would you throw? Why the hell would you throw that into the movie just for the just to see how Bumblebee would look as a or Humvee or something like that that he transformed into? So, what else was there? Oh, so John Turturro, his character comes back, Simmons, and he's in Cuba. I like that, how he was, you know, just hiding in Cuba, and you know, doing all his intel from a fucking payphone on the block of Cuba, and talking over the phone with Anthony Hopkins' character, and just I don't know what the hell, like, he didn't serve a purpose. I mean, I know he did. I guess he was helping Anthony Hopkins' character figure things out just by, you know, trying to be like a liaison or something like that, or just use his info that he has in his head. But then Anthony Hopkins' character was still like, for some reason, like letting him know on things. Like, okay, what the hell? So that was one thing that, you know, brings you back. One thing I did notice that Tyrese wasn't in this movie, and usually when Lennox is in the movie, Tyrese comes back. But I don't know if he was written in the script and then, you know, didn't come aboard and then had to change the script or what. So there was a dry spell in the movie without Optimus Prime, and I thought, you know, when at first, like, okay, what the hell is going on, when all of the talking about the Knights and, you know, their relationship with the Transformers, I was like, okay, what the hell is going on here? Like, Anthony Hopkins' character, you know, that's when he took over and brought together Kate Yeager and what was her name? I can't remember her name. All I can remember is her lips. But yeah. Anyway, she did pretty good. I never seen her anywhere else. I don't know if this is her first role in the movie, but she did a damn good job. I'd have to say she was better than Megan Fox. That other chick, Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, probably come in second. This girl, you know. So, Mark Wahlberg, you know, that's Mark Wahlberg. He's always the same in pretty much every movie he's in. I did realize, I noticed one of the Autobots, I forgot his name, but it was voiced by Steve Buscemi. I recognized his voice right off the bat when, I don't know, he was like a robotic beard and everything, and he was, I forgot what they called him, but he was like, basically like a junkyard, you know, expert or some shit. I mean, the whole thing with Kate Yeager being the chosen one to wield the little amulet, the little circular thing that kept, like, you know, transforming and like connected to him and everything. And then when it finally like uses its purpose and like fucking it becomes a sword or some shit, right? And then he stops one of the knights from killing Optimus. That's when I just rolled my eyes. That was, you know, but, oh, and another thing was the humor. You know, with all of Michael Bay's movies, you realize, you know, you're gonna be in for some real corny ass jokes at the wrong moment in any of his movies. And I don't know, I've watched a couple of the reviews of some people giving what they think about, you know, how they didn't laugh throughout the whole movie, and it's like, I mean, come on. I didn't expect to come to laugh or want to laugh, and to expect Michael Bay to try to, you know, make you laugh, I just don't see it. Like, his humor has always been in all of his movies, including the first Transformers, you know, and which some would argue is the only good one. The first one, I like the first and the third. You know, the second one was okay, but I would say the first and third, you know, were the only two that had compelling, you know, story. I like how Dark of the Moon, which is the third one, it tied in with the moon race between the U.S. and the Soviets, and the Transformers were involved with that. And yeah, the reason why there was a race to the moon was because there was a spaceship that crash landed on the moon, and that's what made everyone go bonkers and, you know, keep everything on the hush hush. And I like that. I like how he uses certain events in human history to you know, take it apart and, like, you know, make sure that, you know, it was because of the Transformers that you know, anything or everything happened. So just a quick recap, it was definitely better than Age of Extinction. I don't think it was better than Dark of the Moon or even Revenge of the Fallen. Yeah, the action was top notch. The special effects was a whole lot better. But it's just, you know, just a certain plot twist that ruined it for me. The plot twist of Earth being Unicron, Unicron being Earth is just something, God, I just don't understand what's wrong with him. Or what's wrong with this team of writers that, you know, just... I don't know if he's writing the stories and the scripts by himself, Michael Bay. But, Jesus, man, get a fucking grip. I mean, it was a great movie when it comes to the action. But, you know, like I said earlier, going back to how Prime didn't have that much of a role in it because he was, you know, traveling through space. But when he was in the movie, he did make a difference. The fight with Prime and Bumblebee was pretty good, and I kind of smiled at the fact that when they stopped fighting, you know, it was kind of like Batman v Superman kind of moment with Martha, the whole Martha thing, and but Bumblebee finally uses his real voice. In all of the movies, you've never heard his voice because it was damaged in battle on Cybertron right before the first movie. So Michael Bay always had Bumblebee like speaking through the radio or speaking through clips that are played through the radio. And you hear, you know, audio clips from old movies and, you know, TV shows or whatever, or from other people, and that's how he uses to speak. But now Kate Yeager and that girl, the new girl in the movie, pretty much fix his voice. But, you know, when you think you're gonna hear it, it was like a joke and it sounded real corny. And then he was really mad at the dude. Oh, the reason why he was able to fix his voice was the dude, I can't remember his name, but the Transformer that was voiced by Steve Buscemi was the one that, you know, gave him this piece supposedly that was gonna fix everything. But it was a real corny voice. But at that moment where Prime looks like he's about to kill Bumblebee, and he uses his real voice to say, I'm your oldest friend, you know, and from Cybertron, and then that makes Prime snap out of his mind control that he was under and becomes himself, and then regrets, you know, what he's done by aligning himself with Quintessa, and then they end up, you know, getting their heads together and kicking some ass. So yeah, and as always, it's always great to hear Prime give his little motivational speech at the end of every Transformer movie. And definitely just to let you know that there's another one coming. Michael Bay is not quitting anytime soon. But if he is, supposedly this is his last one directing. But he said that since Dark of the Moon that it was his last one. So, what did you guys think of the movie? Comment down below. Throw out if there's anything I missed. I'm just, going off of short-term memory here. Things that I can remember that jumped out at me at the movies. Go ahead and comment down below. Certain things that jumped out at you. Were you as disappointed as I was when it came to that whole reveal that Earth is Unicron, Unicron is Earth? Holy shit. If you like my movie review, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. If you did not, eat a dick. Autobots, roll out!